Hey guys, robbing a bank. I'm back. I know it's been a while, but been very busy trading. As you guys know, it's been very interesting these past several weeks, especially this week and last week. The wave 5 is here, and there's no mistaking that. So we were anticipating this move to the upside, and here we are. How high we go? Well, we'll see what happens. Let's start with the wave counts. At our 1, a very shallow 2, had the nice big extended 3. We had our running flat 4, which lasted for, what, 6 or so months. Now we're looking at 5. So things are getting wild. Here, let's make that. Yeah, well, yeah, there we go. So I've been anticipating this wave 5 to potentially reach the 1.618 target between wave 3 and wave down to wave 4. Which would, yes, as I've been saying, would put the price at 94,357 approximately, depending on the exchange that you're using. We're right on track for that. Today was certainly a huge day. Off to a great start this week. The continuation of the momentum. So, the big question is, will we get to the 94,000-ish range, or will we extend even higher to the 200% range, or even the 2.272? It would certainly make sense in terms of adhering to Elliott wave theory for the 94,000-ish range to hit, and that'd be the top. But as we know, this is cryptocurrency, this is Bitcoin, and when you're in that euphoric stage, wave 5 particularly, wave 5 can certainly overextend. This is considered a commodity, and commodities in wave 5 can certainly overextend past the 1.618. I'd certainly like to see that. That would be awesome, and it would give the alts that much more room to run and retrace or even surpass their all-time highs in some cases. Some of them, most of them, I would say, in my opinion, are likely not going to exceed their all-time highs from the past cycle, but yeah, we'll see. Alt season, here we come nonetheless. All right, so here we go. See what happens here. Let's remove that. Just want to get that started, get that underway, because the purpose of this video actually is to discuss what I've been so busy with over these past several weeks. I've been trading the miners and Coinbase, and as you guys know, Coinbase is just on fire these past couple weeks particularly. Did take profits, the retrace level, and then it has already surpassed the retrace levels. Similar story with the miners. So what's interesting here about Coinbase is, yes, surpassed the 8860, yeah, gapped up today, even after having a huge 48% week last week. So, oh yeah, the juice is there. I'm not currently in this stock anymore. I've taken my profits. I imagine it's going to run higher, of course. I shouldn't say of course, but I mean, just look at it. We'll see what happens, though. Strong area of resistance, I would say, would be the 1.414 at 372. At this point, I would be chasing if I were to re-enter. So, not financial advice, of course. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not saying what one should do or not do. I'm just, in this case, if you miss the train, there's no sense, in my view, chasing after. There's always something else that's lagging that will have its moment to shine next. So, having said that, yes, I did take profits around here, around 260, 250 range. Then what happened? Well, today I sold CleanSpart. Wasn't feeling too good about the halt that occurred on Friday, but these things happen. If you take the high from before it rolled over this summer down to the low, we got up actually past the 786. I did sell at 16 and 60 cents. I wanted to sell slightly below the 786 retrace level. Here, let's make this larger for you to see. Maybe I sold too soon, but hey, a gain's a gain. I was buying it down at 10, even in the single digits, so I was ultimately just looking for retrace levels, and that's what we got. So based on the fact that Coinbase has already exceeded its retrace levels, does that mean that the miners are going to follow? Well, they certainly could. Here we got on the monthly view. Now here's one thing I don't like about this stock and also Marathon. We'll talk about that next. So over the course of its existence, it has continuously made lower highs over the years. So that, number one, is a cause for concern. Not concern, but caution, I would say. I just swing trade and day trade these things. These are not, in my view, not financial advice. These are not buy and hold types, but they are not buy and hold type of stocks. They are for traders, and that's what we do. I mean, look at this month. We're already month is only what, not even 2 weeks yet. It's up 65%. So, but I figure, I mean, you see all these monthly candles back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They all have a lot of sell pressure just above this 100-month moving average. So is this going to surpass all of this price action, all this area of confluence? Time will tell. But seemed like a decent area to begin taking profits, even though there is more room on the weekly RSI to run. I might get back into this. We'll see what happens. Tell you what, though, after the huge move it's had, I would certainly like to see a retrace. That's what I was telling a friend of mine about. As you can see, it's got up almost to the 886. Marathon actually got it right up to its 886. I'll cover that after this one. That's ticker symbol MARA. Largest of the miners. All right. So here we go. I would like to see this come up to the 886, even the 1, but really the 886, and then roll over. I'd like to see this come back to the 50% retrace level. See a strong area of confluence here where it was prior resistance. As you can see here, 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 and it broke through here. So for it to come back, retest this area as support, eventually run into these moving averages as they come up, I think that would be very healthy. Well, we'll see if we'll get that, though. It is very overextended on, getting pretty overbought on the daily RSI. However, this thing can keep going. The momentum's there. You can have overextended RSI. You can have divergence in the RSI while the price is still continuing to rise. So, sure, there's a good chance that it could do what Coinbase has done. At this point, it's just a wait and see type of thing, I would say. But a lot of times, and the alts do this too, I've noticed, many assets, they'll run up to the 786 or the 886 and then come back down to the 0.5 or even the 382, which this could certainly do, and then bounce from there. That would be, it'd be a pretty substantial correction. It'd be about 29-30% from here. I mean, from the 886, that is. So, wishful thinking on my part? Yeah, maybe. Maybe it'll just flag out once it gets here, or maybe it just shoots straight up, comes up above this, or it could certainly run into resistance here, where it's found resistance for pretty much the whole year. I mean, you had fake out here, a little fake out here, but basically around $21 has been, or in this case the $20.49, basically the $21 range has been your strong area of resistance. However, if the market's if it remains that strong, it could certainly just blast right through here with enough force. It all depends on Bitcoin, of course. Let's go back to Bitcoin just for a minute. I mean, yeah, Getting a little overextended here. We get a little pullback in Bitcoin here. Maybe just form a flag. Well, yeah, it's hot market. We'll see what happens. I think chances are these might just keep going. All right, let's go to Marathon. Take the high from here before it rolled over. It was in July. Came down to the low here in September. Found resistance here to 382. Came back. Continued to find support pretty much on the daily at the 236. Held support here at the beginning of the month. And look at that. Closed the day right at the 886. Pretty awesome. Now this certainly could. That's why I say this is a wait and see type of deal in my view. Wait and see if this just gets continuation, goes up to the 1, exceeds the 1, just continues to rip. Certainly could, but it did have a nearly 30% day today, so some give back by the market, some profit taking would certainly make sense here, but when it's this hot, you just don't know until you know. Anyway, in this case, I would also like to see a retrace, like I was saying about clean spark, retrace from the 886 to come down to the 0.5. You see this strong area of confluence. Former resistance, 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 resistance. Come back down as new support. That would be fantastic to see. I say that also because I'm so cash heavy now after taking these profits. I sold this one also today. Yeah, that'd be a retracement, a correction rather of 24%. That could certainly happen. I suppose it depends on Bitcoin. It depends on what the big players want to do also. So these don't trade entirely step by step with Bitcoin, of course. It's kind of their own thing in a sense, even though they are pretty much correlated to Bitcoin. They are NASDAQ stocks. But yeah, come up to 42. Here's another thing, just like I was talking about with Clean Spark, continues to make lower highs in its existence on the monthly time frame, which I don't like. I have to be honest. Look at that. Look at that 100-month moving average. Sure, it could blast right through it, could come right up to the 1.618, the 1.272, the 1.414. Absolutely it could. Could take out the February high. Even come to the 2 if it wanted to. These stocks make me very cautious. They're not buy and hold, not financial advice. One has to be very cautious. One ought to be very cautious. Well, like with anything though, you have to be cautious no matter what you're doing. These stocks in particular. So, yeah, could find resistance here. Come back down to, what was it, 1920-ish. Then rip higher. But, or it could just rip here. We're going to know soon enough, though. Let's go back to the weekly. I don't like that gap that formed today. It gapped up this morning, so that also would make a lot of sense then, because of the gap, for this to come back down to the 0.5. Fill that gap, touch that area of former resistance as new support, and continue to rip. Have ourselves a little flash crash down here, scare everybody that got in late. Could certainly happen. Or maybe it'll probably come up a little higher first, then trap more people. at the top, trap new longs, then get the big rug pull, come back down to the 0.5. Classic. Yeah, it could happen. In any case, it's very exciting. Very exciting what we're seeing. Bitcoin dominance, blasting back up after rolling over last week. Was this the top at 60.5%-ish? Could be. Certainly could be. So we're certainly seeing a lot of these alts pop off. So Doge, Chainlink, yep, ADA. Fun is here. Well, see what happens when Bitcoin decides to roll over. That should cause that liquidity not to go into the stable coins or the dollars, but roll over into the alts. We'll get confirmation of that with the Bitcoin dominance rolling over, of course. So maybe the dominance here puts in a lower high on the weekly. It's very well could. Start our alt season. That's where we're going to see the real money. That's what we want to see. Here's ANKR fighting with its 200-day moving average. Covered ANKR in the past. Now it's holding it as support temporarily. See if this maintains. If we can get continuation, if we can take out the high from September, and then see some recovery here. Same with GRT, the graph. Coming up on 20 cents. It's above the 200-day. This one has already taken out the September high. So that's a positive. Watching for these retrace levels. And yeah, I like what I see. Like it a lot. Like it a lot. All depends on Bitcoin though. The big boss. Keeping things very interesting. Anyway, guys, I'll be making some more videos in the coming days, coming weeks. I'm back, so good to be back. Happy trading. Peace.